This is like very early copy of Joel's new book, Micro Polyface, which is like Joel writing about how to homestead, which will be the first. And I proofread this for him, but also wrote the foreword. We're gonna be selling this, and that's what we're gonna be doing, is creating a video companion for this. And I'm going through here, because obviously we're not gonna be able to cover all this in 4.5 hours of content. So I'm kind of picking out the most relevant, broad chapters, like this one, like livestock stewardship. His angle on the role of the animal and the person in dealing with livestock death and harvest is really insightful. So I'm just gonna, like, that's an example. I'm just gonna make sure we cover that kind of stuff. So I have to go through and prioritize, because look at all these chapters. There's like 20-something chapters. Or I think we might have time to cover 10. So let's make sure we get the most for our time.
So
what's the plan for today?
So today is a masterclass, like all day. I think we've got 1.5-hour blocks, and so we got 3 of them. So we're gonna have like probably a good 4 hours of masterclass, and we'll have 3 different setups. So this is number 1. Well, we'll have 3 setups if we have time. We might end up just doing 2 depending on how things go. But yeah, so we're getting a little bit more getting a little more granular with these interview setups, because with the masterclass it's just, you know, talking head mostly. I think there'll be some B-roll, but so we're trying to make it perfect. So yeah.
Everyone's milking a cow today?
Yeah, pretty much.
How long does that take?
About 10-15 minutes maybe.
How much milk do you guys get usually?
About a gallon and a half.
That's every day.
Yeah.
I got good news. On my windowsill in the bathroom are 2 ibuprofen pills. I didn't have to take them last night.
Oh, there it is.
To get me through, I slept without the pain medicine. That's big. Still feel really sore. I'm not feeling like broken bones, like that intensity. So this is good. So it's the intro chapter?
Yep.
So basically how this book came about and who and how it serves them.
Sure. So this book, Polyface Micro, came about because, you know, 35 years ago when I began talking to groups, making presentations, we were basically running a glorified homestead. You know, we had a handful of cows, a few chickens, big garden, cut our own firewood, you know, canned a lot, and ate kind of off of our own land. And we're just kind of scraping by as a living. And so I'd get done with the presentation and everybody would say, oh, that was nice, that was sweet, but how does it scale up? Well, today, you know, 35 years later, you know, we're running 1,000 head of cattle. We've got 20 people that are earning their living from the farm, both family and non-family, and you know, thousands of chickens, thousands of eggs, you know, sales that are significant, and I get done with the presentation and people say, oh my, you know, that's amazing, but how does it scale down? I've only got, you know, 2 acres, 5 acres, 10 acres. I felt impressed that it was time to miniaturize the principles, the techniques of our current scale, miniaturize it again for the homestead movement, which is huge and growing. More and more people understand that in unsettled times, no matter whether you're Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Greenie, whatever you are, unsettled times, you don't want to be in the city.
So we're flipping set now, just to keep things interesting, because it's a talking head all day long. So what I'm gonna do, you start getting, you know, if you're sitting for an 1.5 hours watching somebody and nothing has changed, it kind of gets a little boring.
And that's just switching out the background?
Yeah. So we'll just keep things interesting. It's visually interesting by flipping set so that we're looking at this as our background now. He will actually look exactly the same. All right, we are all rolling, so whenever y'all are feeling good.
Let's talk about strategic considerations as you begin to develop your homestead and you begin to develop a roadmap for where you're going with your homestead. I think as we look at an itinerary, a project list, you know, the temptation is to we're in the honeymoon stage, you know, and let's just jump into this thing, and we fail to ask what's most important. We fail to prioritize. We fail to actually analyze the relative importance of different projects, of different things. We get on the phone, we call for chicks, you know, before do we really want chickens yet? Those kinds of things, get the cart before the horse. So the first strategic consideration is adequate infrastructure. Your development of infrastructure has to precede getting the animals. I wish I had a nickel for every homesteader I knew who called a hatchery and ordered chicks. They don't have a brooder ready. They're not sure where they're going to put them. They certainly don't know where the processing is going to be done. And the next thing you know, those chicks arrive. Oh no, we've got to get them in a safe, secure place. We'll just leave them in the box for a couple of days, you know. And it's this just frenzy of not being ready. My rule of thumb for getting chicks is until you have the processing equipment and you know, I'm talking about meat chickens here. If you don't know what's going to happen on processing day, which is only 8 weeks away, don't get the chicks.
Feeling a little arthritis-y. No throbbing pains, but I am feeling a little like
Stiff.
little stiff and sore throughout my entire both legs. I think that's probably what our doctor was saying with you should have these pains for a while, but they shouldn't be like intense. So I didn't take apple cider vinegar this morning, so maybe this will help. She's offering me pain medicine, but it's only like 12:30. I'd like to think I could go a little bit longer. Hold out as long as I can. We just had lunch break. I was feeling it, so I took a little bath. I think that's helped me a lot. I did take one ibuprofen. You guys might be saying, why are you making such a big deal of this? Well, it's a big deal to us. We don't want to do that. We haven't done that in years. It means a lot to us to not have to count on that. That would be progress. We set it up really nice down here. We're gonna finish it out in here. Joel's nailing it. Joel is easy to edit, easy to direct. He's nailing it.
Oh, Ben's not gonna sit here?
I'm gonna move around a little bit. Do you like me sitting there? I'll sit there.
You want me to sit there?
No, it's fine. It's just different.
He's like an animal. He's in the moment.
That's right. Let's talk about water. Obviously, you can't have life without water. Water's one of the most critical things on any farm, homestead, you know, in your home, anything. So everything starts with water. Now, normally when I say, let's get water, the normal source, what people think when you say let's get water is let's drill a well. So my goal in this little session is that drilling a well will be the last thing you think about rather than the first thing you think about. That's my goal.